Hello and welcome to another episode of Dakbuster, where this guy went to film school and I know nothing. But I'm here because I know a little bit of something.
A few things here
Just
and
a few
there.
things.
Love it.
How's it going, Hunter?
Pretty good,
Yeah.
good. Good to be back with another episode here.
Yeah. What's the next one we're going with?
I mean, shoot, we're getting a little artsy fartsy up in here, and we're gonna talk about movie musicals. Yes.
I mean, I think me and you both have a connection because of musicals.
Yeah.
That are movies.
Oh.
And I go way back with movie musicals, so I'm really excited for this one.
I love a good musical. I mean,
Me too.
With like a theater background like I have, musicals, I would listen to them like on drives and like,
yeah,
so watching a musical, there's just always a good warm feeling in your heart when watching it, and you just want to jam out to the music, and the story is fun. I love a good musical, so this is going to be a fun topic.
When were you introduced to musicals in your lifetime?
I mean,
do you remember it?
I think I would watch them all the time growing up. My mom loved musicals, so I would watch all like the oldies growing up, but I don't think I really fully understood what musicals were until I was actually in like a stage musical, probably 6th grade.
Okay.
Like I just thought it was just like a movie, until I was in them and like knew, oh, this is like its whole own thing.
For sure.
But yeah, when I was younger, I grew up watching tons of musicals, and that's probably why I love them so much now.
Right.
But yeah.
So me, I grew up knowing them because my aunt Jackie would always, every time we would be in the car, we'd be listening to a musical soundtrack. And it's just something that was a part of my life growing up. And then 6th grade, I was in chorus with Miss Hugelin at Jim Hill.
That's so
and
funny.
We did like musicals. And my class was in Oliver.
Okay.
And then it was like South Pacific and Annie, and we got in my opinion back then, it was like the worst one. I was like, oh man, like whatever. Like I had to dress up as a hobo. I remember like making the patches on my suit and different stuff. But looking back, it was so much fun, and that's where my love grew for them.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with them, but like it grew really big.
That's so funny. 6th grade, Jim Hill was my first musical in choir with Mrs. Kurzman.
Okay.
And I think we did like Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh my god, you guys are so old.
We did Schoolhouse Rock, and then eventually our choir director moved up to the high school, so we got a new one, and then we did like a weird like cabaret of different musical things, which was just fun because we got to sing a variety of different musical numbers. But yeah, that's when I first was introduced to an actual like musical. I had never seen any, and then I started going to the ones at the high school,
right?
And like auditioning for those ones later on. But yeah, I love a good musical. I could listen to musicals all the time, honestly.
So, first musical you ever remember? Your first musical memory?
Oof, like movie wise?
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, probably watching things like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That's
like one of my mom and I's like go-to movies back in the day. Dick Van Dyke, and I mean the whole movie is like, honestly, if we showed it to like kids today, they probably wouldn't be as into it. But for some reason, that one just has this like really old school happy feeling, and it's just like such a random story about a flying car. But they go on like a crazy wild adventure because of this car, and then at the end it's all just kind of like their imaginations created this story. And yeah, that's like one of the first musicals, that and probably like Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
The oldies, because that's what my mom loved, because it's what she grew up with, so she passed it on to me. But I remember watching those older musicals that just, you put it on today, and it's just, even the look of it just feels like just such a nostalgic and like happy, easygoing, like fun time. But yeah,
that's cool.
That's probably where I first started watching musicals, were just like old Disney musicals or old like 50s
Right.
movie musicals with old Dick Van Dyke.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's a classic at musicals.
Yeah. Yes, he's a talented dude. I like Dick Van Dyke a lot.
I do too.
Yeah. How about you? What's like your first musical that you remember watching?
It'd probably be Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And then Sound of Music would be my next
Okay.
one, but Wizard of Oz for sure. I mean, we all grew up. I think everyone grew up on that movie,
I mean,
which is so cool.
how do you not show that to your kids, like even today, you know?
Who didn't want to be Dorothy?
I always wanted
You
to be
know?
the Scarecrow.
Yeah. It was just a really cool movie. I look back at it and I'm like, man, how did they do that back in that era? It just was really neat. And the songs are fun. And,
Yeah.
you know, Somewhere Over the Rainbow is a
Classic.
classic.
Judy Garland, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you know who Judy Garland's daughter is?
no.
No. I mean, she's a cult classic, like musicals to this day. It's Liza Minnelli.
No.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's a cool fun fact.
That's interesting.
Judy Garland, I feel like she died pretty young, if I remember correctly.
I think she had like pretty rough life.
I feel like a lot of celebrities, performers, artists all had a rough.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine being in that, and that's probably a whole nother episode.
Oof,
but
yeah. No, I mean, Judy Garland, I mean, she is a
oh my god,
just classic. And she's been in a couple musicals, right? Like
Yep.
she did like several big ones,
She was-
if I remember.
I would say she'd be one of the first that you're gonna remember in a musical.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah, and her voice is just like
unbelievable.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But Wizard of Oz, that's one of the first movies that was like in color, right?
Yeah.
That was like produced in color, which is just so cool because it like does that, but it uses the movie and like
Very
takes
cool.
those two things and brings them together because like it doesn't go into color until she's in Oz, which is
Mhm.
just such a cool thing. And I can't imagine living in that time and like seeing that for the first time where it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Like-
like my mom and dad are a little older than yours,
Yeah.
obviously. And I remember my mom saying that was the first movie I saw in color.
Oh, I just can't even
So
imagine.
cool. Yeah.
That's like because I've only ever seen movies and TV in
Right.
color, you know. So
You don't know any different.
no,
Like
so
my parents come from the time when you did know different.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it's crazy to even
Yeah.
think about. But that movie, like, there's a lot of pretty scary stories
100%.
and backgrounds about that movie that are kind of like, which is just crazy because it's such a happy like,
Have you ever looked for them?
yeah,
Me too.
yeah,
I know, it's
all
so
the time.
disturbing. Why do we look for the disturbing things?
I don't know. And it's like every time I research that movie, there's just more and more things that I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, like Tin Man, his paint was like had lead in it.
Lead. Well, for sure. It was back in the 50s,
Like-
right? Is it the 50s or 40s? Or am I
honestly
way off?
Can't remember. But
Oh, we better figure this out.
yeah,
I
no,
don't
there's
remember
the
Wizard of Oz.
lead paint in his thing. There's supposedly someone like hanging in the background. What else was there? I mean, so much.
39.
Oh,
Bro.
1939.
I can't believe how like far off I was, honestly.
It's crazy. But that just
So
shows you how
unbelievable.
like timeless that
Yeah,
movie is because you could
absolutely.
watch it today and it still like
Yeah.
that's a movie that I could see people just showing to their kids today and it still works.
I
you
would
know?
say, yeah, it's one of the most timeless movies
for sure.
there is.
For sure. I
Yeah.
love that. Love that one for sure.
So did you ever watch Sound of Music?
Sound of Music, my mom loved it.
Yeah.
Wasn't really my
No.
thing.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know if it was
You
like
hate her on
boring to
Julie?
me. No.
Christopher Plummer?
No, it's a great musical, and I just never got into it, which is weird. After you said it just a moment ago, I was like thinking like it's weird to me that mom didn't play that one as much growing up,
We
but
have that one back here
we
somewhere.
have it
I
somewhere.
feel like we do.
Yeah, it might
It's a
be on the
double.
other
It's a
side.
double VHS.
Yes.
Well, I had it when it was a double VHS. And me and my sister, I probably made her because I know she hates it to this day.
Really?
Well, she doesn't enjoy when I'm like, let's watch it. She's like, no.
No.
I think she has some post traumatic
Oh no.
stuff with it.
PTSD.
Yeah. But I mean, over and over and over and over
Really?
and over. Yes, I loved it.
I don't know if I just didn't like it because it was boring to me.
Oh my gosh.
There's
not
like
boring.
I don't know. There's so many slow songs in it.
That makes a musical boring to you?
Well,
A slow song makes a musical boring.
and it's heavy.
Why is it? Well, the end.
Yeah.
But it's so. Oh my god, the music
It's
in that
beautiful.
is brilliant.
Like, I mean, the way that movie is shot is beautiful, and the colors are so fun, and I mean, it's Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
I feel like I use the "How do you solve a problem?" I use it every once in a while, and no one ever gets it.
No one connects it.
I'm like, oh,
That's
sad.
so funny. I could probably tell you 2 songs from that movie.
What?
Yeah. You know, hills are alive with the sound of music, and then
I need a drink.
dear, a female. That's all I could probably tell you.
That's the musical I wanted to do in 6th grade.
Really?
I wanted to be in the Sound of Music one.
It would be a fun show to be in.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's
I've never
so
been
many,
in that one.
16 going on 17, so I've played it for my 9-year-old
Oh, I
niece.
do know that one.
Good. You probably know a little more than you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It is good. I don't think I would
These
go
are a
out
few
of
of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know a little more than you think.
Yeah. No, I just don't think I'd go out of my way to watch it.
Oh my god, I would rewatch the 3-hour,
That's so funny.
whatever, 2.5 hour, whatever it is, over and over and over. Like I did. I would still do it to this day.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Never been in Sound of Music. Was in Wizard of Oz.
That's cool. Who'd you play?
Just ensemble.
Oh, you didn't get to play your Scarecrow dream?
No.
That's sad.
I got to do it for a book fair once where I dressed up as Scarecrow, but
Oh, I'm
I would
sorry.
have been a great Scarecrow. They didn't know what they were doing.
Do you
It's
think
fine.
Wizard of Oz will ever become a Broadway play?
Has it not?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in this
Like a
time frame. Yeah.
Because I feel like it had to
I
have
would assume,
been.
but I don't know, I guess. I
But-
don't know that answer.
Interesting because there's Wicked,
Yep.
which is
valid.
ongoing, and now the movie version is coming out, which I'm excited to see with Ariana Grande and Cynthia something. But I don't know. I feel like Wizard has to get revived at some point.
Yeah,
I
was it ever
just-
Wizard, or was it like is there like some stipulations on it?
I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know that actually. If you know, let us know in the comments.
My fun fact, my cousin was in Wicked
Okay,
in the Broadway
that's awesome.
in Chicago, I believe.
That's so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I've seen Wicked twice, and I mean, it's like the first time.
And I've never
Every
seen
time.
it, but this is my aunt that played the musicals, so it's her daughter.
Okay.
So I
makes
mean,
sense.
it just
adds up.
I love it. They're all musical, and she lives in New York, and it's just so cool.
That's so
The
fun.
stuff that she's seen and been a part of, and
Ugh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Wicked is just a fun show, and like I said, the movie, like, I hope they do it justice. I mean, Ariana Grande is gonna be great.
You think she was a good pick for that?
I
for the
think
main?
so.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I was kind of surprised when I heard she wasn't playing Elphaba. She's playing Glinda, but
Okay.
she's really close with Kristen Chenoweth, who played Glinda on
She's
Broadway.
another person I think of for musicals.
Oh,
Today, more so.
just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we've talked about Glee, and that's one thing I love that they do is they bring all of these
Yeah.
like Broadway people on to the show playing different characters, and then they're just singing. And as I grew up, I'm like, oh, this is so and so from this musical. But
Did Glee ever have Liza Minnelli?
good question. I am not sure.
I mean,
I
she's
know.
a huge musical person.
I know. Idina Menzel and Kristen
love Idina
Chenoweth.
Menzel.
They were both on, and they were both in Wicked, which
Okay.
I mean, great show. I'm excited for the movie musical version, and I hope they don't mess it up. But yeah, interesting revival of Wizard of Oz. I would watch it. I'd probably go see that on Broadway if they revived it. And there's a couple of revivals that have happened, like Music Man. With Hugh Jackman, that just was on Broadway, but that's a good movie musical too. Are you a fan of The Music Man?
Watched it, liked it, haven't rewatched it.
Yeah, we had to
Let's
watch
just
that
say.
in school, so that's probably one of the earlier musicals that I had seen, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Liza Minnelli, Kristen Chenoweth covered her song "Maybe This Time"
Maybe this time.
because Liza Minnelli was Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Liza.
That's so funny. And then
Anyways, Music
that's
Man.
a full circle thing too.
I know,
'Cause
it's so cool,
then
right?
there was Barbara,
Barbara.
who Leah Michelle sang a lot of Barbara. And then Leah Michelle went on to play Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Broadway.
I love it.
Yeah.
Music Man, not a...
No.
I understand for what it's worth, but...
Not my fave either. I mean, it's one that, like, you almost have to see once, but I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't, go out of my way. It's not one that I would want to be in. Not one that I would really go and probably see. Maybe for Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, but yeah. So what other movie musicals do you have in mind?
Just so many, right?
It's like
so many.
Error.
It is like a pinball machine right now in my head because I just love them.
Yeah.
But like a more recent-ish one, it's probably a long time ago now, but was Rock of Ages.
Oh, yeah.
Which, hear me out. When I first saw it, I was like, what the actual heck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what am I watching?
It's a crazy one.
Like, I'm like, the acting, and then I started to appreciate it for the cringiness that it was.
Yeah.
And like the music. I appreciated the music. And like
So
Tom
good.
Cruise, hold the door.
Like, what? Huh?
I had a new little crush on Tom Cruise at that moment because I'm like, holy, okay, Tom. Stacey Jacks, hello.
Like, what? Not who I would have casted.
Never
would have even crossed my mind.
Ever. Like Julianne Hough makes sense.
Makes sense. Russell Brand and his role makes sense.
He was
like,
funny.
But just
Alec Baldwin didn't make sense.
Nope.
But I appreciated him.
Yep.
It took me a minute, but now I love it. And I could rewatch and rewatch and rewatch.
It's a great movie, musical. And honestly, just for the music alone. Like, the story itself, it's like, okay, good, easy, whatever.
Right.
But everything, like, intertwined in it, the music and how they use these popular rock hits and, like, use it to tell this story is just so smart, and it's just fun. I mean, that's a soundtrack that I could just put in and listen to because it's all of the greatest hits.
It is funny. My sister, I remember driving with her and I hadn't seen the movie yet. And I'm like, what the hell is this song? This is not the original artist.
Yeah.
So it was from Rock of Ages. And she's like, you have to watch this show. And I'm like, no.
That's so
it's not
funny.
original. I can't remember what song it was, but it was one of the ones, like the remix or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's when I watched it. I'm like, oh man, she's right. Like, no wonder she's listening to this soundtrack because it is pretty good.
It's like a compilation soundtrack, honestly, just with other people singing it.
So great.
Yeah.
And then, fun fact, I didn't know you at the time, but you played Stacey Jacks.
I did.
In a local theater.
Also not who I would cast as Stacey Jacks, but
but you were so good. I remember going to it and being like, this was so good, and the lead was so great, and I had no idea who you were at all. I don't think I met you.
2017, 2018 that I did that.
Yeah, and I didn't meet you until 2021.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember being like to my sister, "Oh my God, this is Stacey Jacks," and she was all like, "Stacey Jacks." I'm like,
she said something like, "I'm gonna be friends with him." Or
she
something.
did.
Now,
she goes, "I want to be friends with him."
That's so funny to me.
I'm like, okay, that's funny, and then here, whatever, a couple years later, here we are.
I love that you guys saw that. I mean, that's a top, probably top 2 for me.
Yeah.
On stage performances, and
Was it super uncomfortable to do that role?
Oh, the most uncomfortable. I'm flinging panties at people.
Yeah.
I'm like half naked, walking around saying things I never would say in front of hundreds of people, but such a fun role and show. And I never had heard of Rock of Ages, honestly, before doing that show. I had never seen the movie, never listened to the stage stuff or anything. And then I just had this new love for it. Of course, I watched the movie before doing the role, wanted to see what it was about and stuff. And it's very different from the stage production, but still just so much fun, And I stole a few things from Tom Cruise when I played the role.
The Ridge.
But he had like a gun tattooed on his hip in the movie, so we put a gun tattoo here, and I do like a bird thing and shoot it down with my
Oh
tattoo
God.
gun.
So great.
Great movie musical. I do really like that one, and
So great.
I can watch that
one.
one.
Thing about the show, Diego.
Yes.
What's his name on there?
Oh, I don't remember.
Isn't his name like his real name, Diego?
I think so.
I gotta look it up real quick. But when he cuts his hair, no. For the Z guys.
Oh, I know. They go
No.
like 90s. Is that what that was?
Yes. And I'm like, no.
99.
What are you doing? His name is Drew. But it's Diego Boneta.
Yes.
And like so hot. Like I'm like, oh my goodness. And I just love how like her name was Sherry, and then like, oh Sherry.
Oh, Sherry.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
So great.
So smart. So well done. I love it.
Good names in it. Good, happy musical. Is it the best? Like overall, like
it's
kind of like probably not. But
it's like one of those crappy movies that you can't help but love.
Yeah, I learned to love it, and I love it.
It is really good. I love that.
Yeah.
Another movie musical that I have is Pitch Perfect.
Oh God, that's such a great.
All of them, honestly, for me. Three
John
not
Michael
so
Higgins,
good, but
Elizabeth Banks, like.
Rebel Wilson, Anna Kendrick, Anna Camp, Brittany Snow, like
many people that have been in the industry, but we didn't really like fully notice them.
Like
let's
even
say like Anna was in Twilight and stuff, but
household names until that movie.
I mean, a lot, like so great,
incredible. I mean,
favorite
Ben Platt,
Pitch Perfect, 1, 2, or 3.
1. Yeah. I gotta go 1.
Mine is a mix between 1 or 2.
Yeah, 2.
3 is way
good.
Off the.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the singing in it, but no.
I still just love them all together, so I like 3, but the first 2 just blow that third one out of the water.
So good, and to have a sequel.
Yeah.
That is on the same level as the original.
Like, I remember when the first one came out, I had a friend who also liked Pitch Perfect, and I told him I will watch this movie 365 times before the end of the year.
I love it.
And I did. I watched it all the time. I could probably quote that movie word for word at this point, because
such a great movie.
Just so fun, easy to turn on, watch anytime.
Yes.
Great music, great cast, super funny. So, I mean,
I love how these shows or these movies, I apologize to the people who call me out on that. But these movies bring back songs that are old. Like this one was like, "Don't You Forget About Me."
Yes.
And I'm like, bro, like I've known this song for a long time, since Breakfast Club, and now it's like, now my niece listens to it. I'm like, that's so funny. Crazy. I love it.
I love that so much. And in Pitch Perfect is Ben Platt playing Benji.
Oh,
and
Benji.
He's a big Broadway star.
So good.
Starred in Dear Evan Hansen, which then turned into a movie musical. I mean, Ben Platt, and he was a small role in that movie. Yeah. And now here a few years later, he's one of the biggest stars ever.
Benji hit me a lot in Pitch Perfect. Makes me sad every time old Benji's in his room.
I know.
And they're singing that like happy song, and you're like, you gotta keep your head up.
Yeah, but Pitch Perfect, love it. Good. Can't go wrong with those movies. I'll turn them on anytime.
Yeah, if they're playing, I will stop and watch it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shoot. Well, what else do you have for movie musicals?
Well, I think we were talking about this before the show, but The Greatest Showman. My aunt that is musical lover, she has called that a festival for your eyes. And it is truly such a well done movie.
Yeah.
I think. I like the cast. I like the colors. I like the story.
Yeah.
It's just a very entrepreneurial story of like a fight when nobody believed in you.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really cool. With song. I mean, it's really, really neat. It's just a well done show.
100%
movie.
It's and it's like 100% original, brand new. Like when it came out, 2017, I think, is when it came out, and it wasn't a Broadway show. It was just from the creators of all of these other really great musicals as well. But I I think they did Dear Evan Hansen as well, actually. Could be wrong on that, but they've done a lot. And La La Land they did.
I have not seen La La Land.
Okay, it's good. Not my favorite. A lot of people absolutely love it, so don't come for me. But no, I mean, Greatest Showman, definitely festival for your eyes. Like, I mean, beautiful colors.
So good.
The music, that's a movie that makes me cry all the time.
Absolutely.
It's something I can always watch. It's a night. It's a feel good but like heavy story all at the same time, all about acceptance and like growth and just life.
Haters. It's like early on haters.
Yeah. Like just
in your life.
It's so good. And that is one movie actually like on 4K. I don't care what anyone says about 4K and stuff, saying like it's not different from anything else or whatever. That movie, if you have a 4K TV, 4K copy of it,
it's like school talking.
It's like you're there. It's so crisp. It's colorful and like just, and it got crapped on, that movie did, from critics. Like,
yeah, and it was just an instant like for me. Instant.
I saw it in theaters probably 5 times.
Instant. Yeah.
Loved it.
So good.
Instantly. And I knew a lot of the songs before going into it because they released them before.
Okay.
So I was like in the theater like singing the first time I've ever seen this movie.
That's awesome.
But no.
The songs were great.
Ugh, I love that movie.
Just great. And the different people and the, you have the bullies and the outcasts and
yeah.
It's just, it's sad, but it's so true for today and it's relevant for today.
100%.
And like, yeah, I just loved it.
Yeah.
And I love that he kept following his dream even though everyone told him not to.
I know.
And you can't do it, and that's life. Everyone does that to anybody. They want to shit on their dream.
I know. Ugh. But that also has 2 really great musical actors in it. Hugh Jackman, which we talked about a little bit. He was also in the movie version of Les Miserables with Anne Hathaway and I mean, everyone in that movie. There's a lot of people in that one. That's a heavy one, but
so heavy.
I actually didn't see that until I was much older, and
I'm glad for that.
If I was young watching that, I would have been like snooze fest, bored. But I really liked it. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you're glad you've seen.
Yeah,
but
100%. And I like a few of the songs, like just from musical theater. But Hugh Jackman's great performer, great actor, and then of course Zac Efron, who
man of many talents.
I love that man.
So good.
Grew up with Zac Efron because of High School Musical, which that's Disney, and we probably have to save that for a different.
I would agree. I have a lot of Disney.
Yeah.
So I think we should just nix the Disney discussion at all
100%
on this for musical, because
it's too much.
An episode.
It's too much. So. But he did High School Musical, which the first one it's not even him singing.
Yeah.
And then the second and third he sings, and then he goes on to do Hairspray.
Yep.
Which top 3 musical for me is Hairspray.
Really?
Love Hairspray.
I saw that on Broadway, actual Broadway. Yeah.
You get out of here, because
it was cool.
I've always wanted to play Link. It's like on my dream list of 5 roles that I'd like to play in my life. Link is one of them, and Zac Efron plays.
Well, then you will.
I know, I will. One day it'll happen.
I will go see it again.
I just need to be somewhere that isn't here, because we can't do it here. Exactly.
I don't know where we are. I never know where we are.
No, but Zac Efron, Hairspray, love Hairspray. I like the remake movie more than the original movie.
Okay.
But I've never seen the Broadway version either.
Broadway's great. I mean, I think Broadway's just great overall, obviously, but...
Obviously. No, but music in that is just so fun. That's also another musical, which trend in musicals, acceptance and self-expression, being yourself, like... Love that as a theme, and maybe that's why I love musicals so much, because I just love the idea of like being who you are and just living life and living your truth. Yeah,
maybe.
So I love that, and I love music and dance, so you throw that all together, I mean, that's a winner.
Have you ever seen a Broadway show?
I have seen several Broadway shows
in New York. What have you seen?
I've seen Wicked a couple of times. I've seen Phantom. Phantom of the Opera, which, I mean, classic.
I've never seen Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Now you won't
I
be
saw
able
it in
to.
Vegas. And it was as a musical play.
Yeah.
Very, very amazing.
Ugh.
And I love the movie with I only know Emmy Rossum, honestly.
Yeah.
And her voice is haunting melody in that.
100%.
I want to show my niece, but again, a little too much.
Little bit.
You know, I don't want any nightmares happening, but that story is awesome. Like,
I mean, the chandelier
Broadway.
comes at you on Broadway, and you're just like...
It did it in Vegas, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's a show I didn't want to see.
Really?
I was not interested in it, but
the music
and it was great.
Holy shit. Like, there's no words for that
so
music.
Good. I was shocked.
Thinking about it.
That's one that I was, like, blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually like this.
That's cool.
I did not expect to like it. And then I've seen Matilda, the musical on Broadway, which is now on Netflix in a movie form.
I saw. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, the Broadway show, I was super jet lagged, so I did doze off for a few minutes during the show, but they do revolting children and they're dancing on the desks and she's doing the magic. Super cool. I've seen Aladdin.
All of these in New York.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
all
awesome.
of them on Broadway. Aladdin was great.
Cool.
Super cool, which we'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah, I think Broadway musicals should be a thing too. But...
Yeah. And then I've seen King Kong the musical.
Interesting.
Weird. Very cool though. It's big gorilla puppet.
Yeah.
But Broadway. I would love to see some more shows. Hamilton.
Yeah, I saw Cabaret in New York, and Hairspray were my two that I saw.
I can't believe you saw Hairspray.
Cabaret was pretty freaking cool. John Cicada, who's a 90s singer, it's what I think of anyways, but he was great in it. It was a great show.
Cabaret in the movie version, who plays the main guy?
I don't remember, honestly.
I feel like it's
I feel a little bit bad about it.
I feel like I can picture him right now, and I can't put a name to it. I think I've met him.
Oh, how that memorable.
Yeah. If it's him, I could be wrong. It might not even be him.
Well, Liza's in it, so you might not.
No.
Oh, maybe. Well, this is the 1972 version, so.
There's a newer one, no? Maybe not. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe he played him on Broadway. I don't know.
There's just something here that says Bradley Cooper wants to direct Cabaret remake with Lady Gaga, which would be really cool.
That would be good.
Oh, here's a 93 movie.
Who's in it?
Directed by Sam Mendes.
Oh, really? He did 1917.
Oh, Alan Cumming.
Yes, met him.
Alan, I think you'd be really fun to meet, and I'd remember you.
I'm sorry, Alan.
Alan was in a movie called Circle of Friends.
Oh.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Chris O'Donnell and Minnie Driver. A really old school movie. He was creepy in that movie.
I haven't seen that one, but you haven't seen Spy Kids, and he's in that too.
Okay.
No, but Cabaret, great one. What about Moulin Rouge?
Yeah, the movie. I have never obviously seen the Broadway, but so good.
There's so many movie musicals. Chicago.
Yes, so good. I know Chicago gets redone on Broadway a lot, where they bring in guests to play Roxy a lot.
And like people that I mean, we've talked about this before. It was what's her name?
Pam Anderson.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah, they just brought her in. Lisa Rinna. I mean, all my housewives, like Erica Jane has played her, and Lisa Rinna. Like, it's so neat. I love that.
I do love how they bring people in to do that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I mean, is there any other movie musicals that need to be mentioned? I feel like I gotta check my list.
Disney out. Rodgers and Hammerstein was like The King and I, Meet Me in like all these Oklahoma, Meet Me in St. Louis, My Fair Lady.
Yep.
I guess for me it's like the ones here are Mamma Mia.
Oh, great. Yes.
And Grease, we haven't talked about.
Oh my gosh. Newsies. There's so many.
Papes. I'm selling papes.
I don't need the limp to sell papes.
But I think that's, I mean, I have a few others, but Mamma Mia, great cast, great music. I get really sad that Meryl Streep didn't want to come into. She doesn't like to do sequels.
Yeah, which
if I remember correctly, because I'm like, why isn't Meryl Streep in this? And then she's dead in Mamma Mia 2, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Rip my heart out a little bit more, please.
Meryl Streep, I don't understand that, not wanting to do sequel. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, if it's a great story, why not?
I know, but she did make like they have her like singing with Amanda, what's her name? Seyfried. In it. So she makes, I guess you call that a cameo, but Cher in it. So they like made up for it with Andy Garcia and Cher and
Yeah.
Great cast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the music, both movies.
I can't. Like, it's a soundtrack. I have a playlist for Everett and Mamma Mia 1 and 2. I love
that she loves it so much. So random, but makes so much sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we've done so many karaoke songs with Mamma Mia 100%. With her. And I love that.
Ugh. So, I mean, Mamma Mia's great.
Mamma Mia, good one.
Grease, you mentioned.
Hello, Grease. Shouldn't have been watching that when we were young.
I mean, they say we'll make the girls cream in one of the songs, and we performed that in 7th, 8th grade, and we're like, "Oh, go Grease Lightning."
Yeah.
I think we just changed it to something else, "The Girls Will Dream" or something. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot in that movie that's pretty.
Such a great movie,
but. Everyone knows Grease. At least one song from Grease, even if you've never seen it.
What's your favorite song?
I really like "You're the One That I Want."
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's so many great songs in it.
It was probably Hopelessly Devoted for me, and then Summer Lovin'.
Summer Lovin'.
Yeah.
That's a great one, too.
I know.
It's so hard.
Good.
I mean, even Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah.
I mean.
Fell in love with John Travolta. In that movie.
So good.
Like, so good.
So good. I mean, shoot, I can't believe we didn't talk about Grease earlier, honestly.
I know, but it's
that's
a lot.
Like the classic, right?
It's one of them, yep.
And then, I mean, you've got Into the Woods, which was turned into a movie with James Corden, Anna Kendrick.
Good, watchable, just wasn't my niche. My niece loves it.
Really?
Yep, always wants to watch it.
Interesting. Yeah. That's one that people never want to perform on stage, which is weird. You either love it or you hate it, which I get. And James Corden has to be in every movie musical ever, apparently, and people hate that. He was in Cats, which I never saw. Oh my
God, I never saw it either.
Can't do it. I'm just not here for the Cats.
I would go to it on Broadway.
I would probably see it on Broadway, but...
So you made me watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
Not made me. I wanted to. I just hadn't done it. And you're like, you need to watch it. And I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. So well done.
Yep.
I feel like these are operas a little bit because they're telling this story through music.
Yeah. Hamilton is 100% sung.
Yeah.
Rapped.
And yeah, it was such a neat take on a musical.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so thankful that I did end up watching it.
Yeah.
And thanks for making me do that. But it was cool. I would see it on Broadway. I understand the hype of it.
And I want them to do a movie version of it that isn't just the stage recording. I love seeing because I've never seen it or had an opportunity to even come close to it yet. But I would love to see them do a movie version of it and how that would look.
That would be cool.
But another Lin-Manuel movie is In the Heights.
I never saw that one.
And I've seen a stage production of it, which it's really good, but I haven't seen the movie version yet. But I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius, and I mean, he did Moana as well, and all of these other movies. So he's definitely pumping out stuff, and I love to see that. But
I think he's cool. There's just a few others that I had.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Walk the Line?
Yes. Johnny Cash.
And June Carter.
Because it's Joaquin Phoenix and Reese. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, my dad really likes Johnny Cash, so he liked that one. That's one of the only musicals that he really likes, that and Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Otherwise, not a big musical guy, but Walk the Line, I never wanted to watch it, obviously, as a kid. Like, I don't...
Yeah, I understand that. But it's really good, and they do a good job of remake, and it's just a sad story, but happy too. Like, I think a quote from him is like, my favorite day is drinking coffee, or my favorite moment is drinking coffee with June in the morning or something. And I'm like, man, the simple things in life. And it makes my heart break that people have to go through those feelings when you're feeling so alone and like nobody loves you, and it's gonna make me a little teary-eyed, but no one should have to feel that way. And it just life, and I'm so thankful she never gave up on him, because what a tragic yet really cool love story.
100%. 100%.
I thought it was a great movie.
No, that is a good one.
And
what about
singing
Rent?
was great.
Oh.
Their singing was great. Rent, oh my God, that's a tearjerker.
I mean, if you want to cry.
Freaking tearjerker. Great 100%. Music, great cast.
Yep.
Taye Diggs, hello.
Yes.
Call me anytime.
Idina Menzel.
Yep.
Oh, what's the guy's name? The main guy, Amp? No.
I haven't seen Rent in a minute, because problem with me is when a movie makes me cry, I don't like to watch it often.
Yeah. I feel that. I gotta be like, okay,
I have to be in the mood for a cry.
Yeah.
Which should be an upcoming episode.
I think so too.
So no, I haven't seen it in a minute, but it is probably a top 10 for me.
I mean, it's got one of my number one fave songs, and 500.
Oh yeah. It's a great soundtrack to jam to in the car.
100%. Yeah. Just belt it.
I think I would, a lot of my cousins like musicals, which is so cool. We grew up all singing.
I love that.
In the car and to all these musicals, which is fun.
My family probably thinks I'm crazy for just jamming to musicals.
I love it. No, you should not ever be crazy for expressing.
They love watching musicals.
So much fun.
My mom loves musicals, so.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
No.
I know there's people in my life that they're like, is there music in it? I don't want to watch it.
It's like
if they're singing. Are they singing about the movie?
They're just going to break out into song.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are like, mm-mm. And I'm like, I'm here for it. Sign me up.
I love it. So I had one more.
Okay.
Before we do our trivia.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie Cry Baby?
Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it probably once.
Me and my sister used to watch it all the time. Yes, we should watch it again, because
I would watch that one again.
It's got to be so politically incorrect, honestly, because it's like squares and the drapes and.
Yeah.
But the songs are so fun, like Mr. Sandman and who else is in it? Ricky Lake is in it.
Okay.
She's a sister, and it's just great.
That's so funny.
So if you have never seen Cry Baby, I'd recommend giving it a watch, because Johnny
100%.
Depp's
I can see
in that movie.
I can see his greaser hair on the cover, and I love Johnny Depp.
always wanted to be Allison.
Yeah,
that's so funny. It's so funny.
That's a deep cut one.
Yeah, that was a random one, a random mention.
Kind of made me think of another one that we didn't talk about, but Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, with the Gene Wilder one and the Johnny Depp one. There's music involved in those, obviously, and
do you think, and I've never taken psychedelics, but do you think it'd be weird to watch that movie?
Could you
psychedelics or mushrooms or anything?
Either of them? I can't even imagine. No. Tweaking out of your mind, and
I feel it would be a thing.
They're going through that tunnel, and let
us know if it is, if you've ever done it.
Gene Wilder is just, we're going.
Yes.
No.
I know.
You'd be having a bad trip, I bet.
So funny. No, I've never done it, but it's
me
just
neither.
A thought that just popped through my head.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Funny.
Well, shoot, I think that's probably all the time we have for movie musicals. I feel like we could have gone on for a lot longer, honestly.
We probably could have.
But maybe some other time we'll talk about some other movie musicals.
I feel like we can branch that one out into Disney musicals and musicals on Broadway.
Yeah.
And,
I agree. 100%. Yeah, but do we have some time for some movie trivia?
Yeah, we got 6 minutes left.
Okay, that should be good, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Did we talk about anything else ever?
No, never. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know this one.
Well, I hope so.
Who played James Bond in GoldenEye?
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
God, he was hot.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
I mean, he's still hot, but he was hot there
He's
too.
a little older now.
Yeah. I like an old silver
you
fox.
like a silver
we
fox.
know that.
Yeah.
What?
It's like this was meant to be.
Really?
In the movie of the same name, who plays the Greatest Showman?
Hugh Jackman.
Yep.
P.T. Barnum. Great quotes from P.T. Barnum.
No one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
Yeah,
Is that
something
one of
like that. I'd have to look them up because I don't have quotes on memory here, unfortunately. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh boy.
I mean, I have hope for you.
Well, we can hope.
Who is actor Emilio Estevez's father? It might be a random one, actually, that maybe you don't know. I knew this one, but I also am older.
I know this. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Who is it? I don't know.
Martin Sheen.
I was going to say he's related to Charlie Sheen. Who's
Funny, huh?
the dad?
Oh, Martin.
That's great.
Pretty cool.
Talented
I like
family.
Emilio Estevez. They're a very talented family. Yeah, I think because we have some sport movie talk coming up. So, like, Mighty Ducks and that whole situation. I think we need
Drama
to
at
discuss.
Disney.
Second question.
Okay.
In which 1985 movie does a baseball player have to spend $30 million in 30 days in order to inherit $300 million? You've never seen it? I haven't seen it a lot.
The baseball movie?
Well, yeah, it's about a baseball player. No?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, we better get you on it. Brewster's Millions. And I only have watched this because of the guys in my life.
Okay.
It's not one that I would
never
ever
even heard of this, honestly.
have picked. I think it's worth watching.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that card sucked.
Sorry. Better luck next
I
time.
think we got time for one more.
Oh, he wants to redeem.
I need to redeem.
So am I doing one more with you?
Yeah.
Which Star Wars movie was released in 2005?
Well, this is some bullshit.
I would lose big time here.
New Hope.
No, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Did I say that right? I don't even know. You might get... I hope you get this one, actually. Yeah, you're going to get this one. Best friends Harry Dunn and Lloyd Christmas travel to Aspen, Colorado in which movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
There you go. See?
Thank God.
Save the best for last.
Oh, we already did that one.
Oh, no.
We already did that one.
Oh, no. You're picking some good ones.
Oh, no.
Stop it.
These are on the wrong side.
I pull from the middle. Always pull from the middle.
Oh, I didn't
Always.
think about it. Sorry. Okay. What is the name of the third movie in the Bad Boys franchise?
No idea.
Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys, what you gonna do?
Who starred along Jim Carrey in The Mask?
Oh, Cameron Diaz.
Yes. Love that movie for sure.
Great movie. My aunt, who is getting a lot of mentions tonight.
Yeah, that's funny.
My cousin Mitchell, her son, wanted to dress up as Jim Carrey the Mask, and like he had the mask and the yellow suit. It was such an epic Halloween costume.
I do love that movie.
Great movie.
I love Jim Carrey. So
smoking. He's so good. Oh, such a great movie.
I could just his like face, like how he animates his face is like smoking. Like it's just he's great.
I bet he's an interesting person to
I would love to
film
sit
a movie
down
with.
and chat with that man.
100%.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I think that's all the time we got for you guys in all of the movie musicals. If you have one that we missed, leave it in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. Follow us on everything.
Comment. Let us know. We like to argue. We like to debate.
Yeah,
we like different perspectives. It's all fun.
I love it.
Yeah, keep following.
Well, shoot, next time we're going to be talking about some movies that are going to make you cry.
Ugh, this is going to be rough. I'll probably start crying.
Get the tissues ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as always,
be kind.
And rewind.
Go to bed with Johnny.
Dakbuster.
Malibu Nights.
will you talk dirty to me?
Different unique takes on movies and TV shows.
A word, because every episode is a drinking game built in.
Always.
Is this the it puts the lotion on?
Also in the news, we've got it's not a juicy bear. That is someone's burger.
The Red Bull enhances the drunkenness.
Huh?